Hello, my name is Taylor. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I am celebrating 4 years on Booktube. I asked y'all how I should celebrate, and you said I should react to my very first YouTube posted video. So that's what we're going to do today. I have it ready to go. But first I wanted to think back on the last 4 years. I am so grateful to have this opportunity to be on YouTube and talk about books. I started my channel because I love books and wanted to talk about them. I didn't really have any in real life friends to talk to about books. Nobody was really a reader. My husband's not a reader. So I was really feeling that disconnect, that social side of reading, which there is one. If you're on Booktube, you know. You can talk about books all day if you have the right listener. But I was really hoping to find community, and I have. I love Booktube so much. I've actually had 2 kids since starting my channel. Actually, this very first video, this was a couple weeks before I got pregnant with my first child. And yeah, I just am so thankful for all of y'all who have supported me in the comments, and subscribers, and people who have gifted me things, and friends who I chat with on the daily now. It has been such a huge blessing to me. And if you're interested in starting a channel, I think you should, if you like talking about books and are comfortable with being on the camera. So yeah, but anyways, this first video is from June 29th, 2022. It's my May reading wrap up for 2022. And kind of a little bit of backstory. I had just become a Christian in January this year, and I very quickly felt convicted about what I was reading. And I decided to do a complete turnaround, a 180, and I unhauled all the books that I owned, other than like a couple of classics. And I used all of that credit to build up my bookshelves again and really focus on just reading Christian fiction, because I felt that that was my safe place as far as what made me feel guilty for reading things. I was very much a baby Christian. I was still learning all the things. I had not known that Christian fiction was a genre, so I'm still really trying to figure things out. And I suspect, based on how my reading tastes are now, that I probably wouldn't think the same about some of these books. So we'll see. But I have not seen this video since I posted it, around the time that I posted it. I have not gone back and watched it. So we'll see. This is entirely real, what my responses are going to be. But looking at it right now, I can tell you that my hair is very different than what it was then, a lot shorter back then. I go back and forth with the length, if I should keep it shorter, you know, have it more like this. I think having it shorter makes me look way younger, but maybe that's just me. So anyways, the background. I don't remember why exactly I didn't film in front of my bookshelves. Maybe because they weren't ready yet and I didn't have all the books. Like I was unhauling, maybe that was it. I also wasn't sure if I could get in front of my bookshelves to have the right background. Like I didn't know if I could fit them with the tripod. Maybe that was it, because our couch was kind of in front of our bookshelves, or my bookshelves rather. My husband doesn't read. He does now, a little bit of nonfiction. But anyways, maybe that's why. But yeah, I started off with having the background as a room in my house. It was my bedroom. And fun fact, the first 2 videos I did, which was this one and a book haul, that I filmed them at the same time. I put a hat on in the other one to make it look different. I don't know why I didn't just put on a different t-shirt, but I put on a hat. But I filmed them at the same time. This one got posted first, but my second video, which was 50 Christian books haul, is still to this day my most watched video. So if you haven't seen it and you're curious and you want to see a bunch of books, that's a good one of mine to check out. That is another one that I have not seen since I posted it. So if you want to see a reaction video to that, I've seen other people do like flashback to the haul video they did and see if they actually kept those books or read them or whatever. So that would be a good video idea. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. But yeah, I'm going to stop yammering. We're already 5 minutes in. Oh my goodness, I haven't even started the video. So let's get this video started. It's a little less than 17 minutes. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to turn on my screen recorder. Hopefully this all works okay, but we're gonna get started. All right, here we go.
Welcome to my channel. My name's Taylor. Today I wanted to talk to you about some books I read back in May. I know it is basically the end of June pretty much, and I'm just now putting this video out, but it is my very first one, and I have tried so many times to film this video.
I don't know what happened with the camera.
I keep having technology issues where it won't film, or people keep interrupting me, and the angle's not quite right.
Okay, pause right there. That is still an issue today. My husband likes to call me while I'm filming. I don't tell him that I'm filming, but he just happens to know somehow, and he calls me. So he's actually messed up some of my videos recently because he's called. And yeah, it's a constant journey to get better. So girl, go ahead, girl. You posted your first video. Go ahead.
So I'm just going to roll with this one. So I hope you don't mind anything that's wrong with whatever. So I'm just going to roll with this video and hope for the best. I participated in the Christian Readathon, Christian Fiction Readathon, hosted by Katie over at Paperbacks and Ponytails.
Oh.
And I've never participated in a readathon before, so I was really excited to participate in that one and finish all the prompts. I did double up on a couple of them, but I did it. So the first one...
That's interesting. I know Katie does 2 readathons, I think now. This one was one of her earliest ones, a spring one or something. I don't even remember. I forgot that was my first readathon.
That I did was Christie by Catherine Marshall. And this book I did for the prompt of longest book on your TBR. And I kind of cheated a little bit because I read this book a couple of years ago. At the time, I was not a Christian, and I did not really, I don't know why, I didn't think of it as a Christian fiction book. I may have just forgotten over time that I did know that, but whatever. I read it at that point, and I enjoyed it then, and I had read it initially because I grew up watching the TV show, Christie, with Kelly Martin, and I wanted to see if the book was similar, and I remember, though basically the only thing I remember is that it's similar to the show, and I enjoyed it. So I picked it up this time because I wanted to reread it and see what I think of it as a Christian now. And I didn't know that it is the basis for the Christie Award for Christian fiction. I think it's just Christian books. So that's really cool. And I think it's really deserving of that distinction of being the mother book of that award, because it was awesome. I rated it 4.5. It is about, if you don't know, who signs up to go to a mission in back.
Okay, so pause there. I still really love Christie. I don't think I've read it since this time around. I think that's the only time I've read it. So I really do love Christie. I like the TV show, like I said, and I no longer own that copy though. That used to be my mom's copy, and I just since got a special edition copy, which is behind me somewhere. And also I just keep looking. I have my nails painted, and I can't even tell you how much I would love to sit down and paint my nails, but I just feel like I don't have the time. So it's just interesting to see my nails painted because I hardly ever have them painted. So maybe I need to get on that. But anyways, let's skip ahead to, well, I'm just going to let it play. I was going to say I'll skip the description, but I'm also kind of curious what I'm going to say.
Woods, Tennessee, to become a school teacher. She is completely unprepared. She's never been alone before. This is set in the early 1900s. And so she goes out there, and this town community is really, really isolated. She has to take a train to get to the closest town and then walk 7 miles from there. They're really isolated, and the people are very stuck in their ways and really weary of outsiders and distrustful of them. And so she has to earn their trust and also try and figure out her faith along the way, because she grew up Christian, but she wasn't ever really very much invested in her faith. So she's kind of figuring that out along the way, like how her relationship is with God and like how she is sharing that with the people. So that was really, really interesting as a new Christian. That was really helpful for me, seeing her struggles with that. There are two potential love interests in this book, and one of them is a preacher, David, and his faith story is kind of, you would expect him to kind of have all the answers as a pastor, but he definitely does not. And there was one point where he like was talking about how Jesus's miracles are kind of questionable, like he didn't really know what happens in heaven, you know, it really kind of, he didn't believe. So I was kind of frustrated by that, but then I get the whole point where he was kind of forced into seminary school by his family, and he didn't really truly believe, and you see a little bit of his faith progression too, trying to figure that out as well. The second love interest, which is Neil, the doctor of the town, and he is a non-believer, so you also kind of see that too, all the different perspectives, which I thought was really interesting. And I listened to the audiobook, which I was listening to it, and I was like, this voice sounds really familiar. And it was actually Kelly Martin, the girl who played the Christy in the TV show. So that was really, really cool. I highly recommend this book. Second book I read.
Okay. I had forgotten that I listened to the audiobook, but yes, it is a very good audiobook, particularly if you like the TV show.
For the readathon was Wooing Katie McCaffrey by Bethany Turner. This I did the prompt for flowers on the cover and having romance in the book as well. And obviously you can tell it's contemporary romance. It's a really cute cover. But this is about Katie and Will, and they have been in a relationship for 4 years, and they met via a meet cute, and they've been going pretty steady, and they love each other. Then about a year ago, Katie thought Will was going to propose, but he didn't, and so she's felt that their relationship has kind of gone downhill from there. She still loves him very much, but she feels like that their relationship is going nowhere because both of them are Christian, and the whole point of being in a relationship, if you're a Christian, is to find the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. So
okay, I don't know what happened. Do y'all keep seeing that? Like the screen keeps blipping. What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. But also, this was back whenever I was terrified of having ums and uhs in my videos, so I would cut every single one out. I do cut out some of them nowadays, but I don't like meticulously go in and like edit every single little bitty thing out. So that's no longer a thing. And also, I'm just sitting here listening to myself talk about this book, and I'm like 90% sure I would have DNF'd this book if I read it now. I don't. It's contemporary romance. The guy takes like 4 years and has no interest in marrying her. I'm out. But at the time, I liked it.
she doesn't see that he's really taking the initiative to really go anywhere. To her, he seems pretty happy just the way they are. So she decides to end their relationship. And so this is about the story of them, how about him wooing her, them kind of coming back together, I guess. So it was a really cute book. I really enjoyed it. It was a really light, fun read, and I rated it 4 stars. The third book I read was In the Shadow of Croft Towers by Abigail Wilson. And this book I did for the Maine Murders prompt. And this is about Sybil, and she is a lady's companion, and she is the story starts off with her traveling to her new employment position, a coach. It's set in the Regency era, and her stagecoach gets robbed, and so she survives that encounter, and she comes to the place of her employment, and they don't really know why she's there, except for the mistress. She kind of sent for her without telling anybody. And so she's kind of trying to figure out the mystery of why she's there, why her employer is asking her to do certain things, and 2 of the passengers on the stagecoach that she was traveling with, they end up dead. So she's trying to figure all that out. So I really enjoyed this story. It was interesting. There was kind of a 2-part mystery, and one of them I did get, and the other one I didn't. Was a little bit of a surprise, so that was good. And there is a romance in here. It was kind of surface level for me. I wanted a little bit more. The main thing I had trouble with was it's a Thomas Nelson book, and I thought it was Christian fiction. It was clean, and I've seen a lot of booktubers talk about this where you expect it to be Christian, like there to be faith in a Christian fiction marketed book, but there wasn't any. The only thing it mentioned was that they passed by the church or something. That does not make it a Christian fiction book to me. Because I think there were plenty of opportunities where she could have been like, God, help me through this situation. I don't know what to do. Guide me, help me. She could have prayed a lot. Like, there could have been so many opportunities for that in here, but it didn't happen. So that was really disappointing for me.
Okay, pausing right here about Thomas Nelson. I know better now to basically not expect Christian content unless it's like a really old Thomas Nelson book. So I think that disappointment of realizing that it wasn't what I was expecting did color my enjoyment of the book. I think I might enjoy this now more if I read this now. So there's that. Also, it keeps doing that weird light thing. I don't know what that is. And I did mention at the beginning of this video, I forgot to comment on it, that my angle is off. I'm sitting here thinking like, girl, you can only see like part of the cover here. But I think at this point I was filming to where my background was showing, so I couldn't see myself. I did not learn how to mirror the image until later. Did not even know that was a thing. So I was just basically having the camera be for the person who's viewing it to be able to read the book. But I couldn't see myself, which is why the camera angle is off. But it's slightly getting on my nerves a little bit right now because I'm like, it needs to be down further. And yeah, I'm also, side note, kind of going through that struggle right now, trying to figure out like angles and lighting and technology because I'm filming on a camera now. This is my phone. So I'm still growing.
Other than that, like, the storyline was pretty good, so I rated it 3 stars. These are the books I read for the readathon, and the only other prompt was a new to you author, and that would be, I was kind of both these. So those are the ones I read. I also read a few other books as well. I read the Bradford Sisters romance series by Becky Wade. I don't have the 2 first ones. I read them.
I don't think I would like those now.
The first one is about Nora, and she is a librarian, and she's really good at researching genealogy.
Okay, so you see how I have like the title up? This was before I figured out how to put covers up on the screen. I struggled for the longest time because you can't do it on Windows Media Player. So I hadn't yet discovered Filmora, Wondershare, or Wondershare Filmora, whichever one it is. But yeah, this was pre-book covers on here. I forgot about that.
And she meets this guy named John, and he has just found out that he has a certain medical diagnosis, and he needs to find his biological mother. And so Nora helps him do that, and so it's about kind of a little bit of a mystery. I really liked the first one. I rated it 4 stars. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was,
I'm pretty sure I would DNF this now because Homeboy did not break it off with his girlfriend for like the longest time, and I'm out.
I'm not the biggest contemporary reader, so I kind of judge it a little bit more harshly compared to fantasy. In my mind, like in fantasy or sci-fi or something like that, it's not firmly rooted in reality, so I can kind of forgive some things that might not be realistic. But with contemporary, I'm like, no, this is happening in our world. I don't think that would happen. So I'm really kind
Still
of
true.
More picky about contemporary. But anyways, that's a whole soapbox. But I can see how Nora and John meeting would be a God thing. So if it wasn't a Christian fiction book, I probably would have rated it lower because of their meeting was kind of really convenient. But I could see how it would be a God thing. I enjoyed that they both prayed for help. Like, they both were really, they're both Christian, and they prayed and let God guide them. So I really enjoyed that. There was one part where John was like, Well, Nora's very quirky, and she kind of reminds me of myself a little bit, because I'm kind of more like, if you're watching this video, you can relate probably, but like book nerd, like I would totally have a book cottage or whatever she had, and I love vintage things, and I love baking old recipes. I love that. That's me. So I really identify with Nora, so that's probably why I liked her character a lot in the book, because of her. But it was really kind of a little annoying to me that John kept saying, "Oh, why would you say that word? Oh, he's used such a big word." Like, he kept, like, I can get, like, maybe once or twice, but it was more than that. And so I found,
Forgot about that.
I found that a little bit annoying, because I say words like that. She uses big words. I use some, I don't know. It was just that was a me thing, probably. But all in all, I really enjoyed the first book. And then the second book, Falling For You, I'm looking at my notes. Falling For You, I liked a little bit more than the first one. I rated it 4.25.
Hold up. I don't do 0.5 rating, 0.25. I don't do quarter ratings. What am I talking about? Yeah, I don't do those anymore. I mean, I don't think I even did then. I think I was just trying to show you I liked it better than the first one. But yeah, I only do whole and half.
I'm really surprised that I liked that one the best out of all three, because it is about a football player and a model, which I feel like are two of the professions that I do not like, do not care for sports, especially football. And then
That is true.
No way I would ever be a model, so those were really outside of the box for me. But their actual character development and their romance was really, really good. But that story is about Willow, and she's the model, and she and Corbin, the football player, they were in a relationship, and something happened, and they had a really bad breakup, and so now they're put together again. They have a mutual acquaintance, and they're in each other's lives again. Corbin's niece, she found a family secret, and she found out that Corbin knows Willow, and she, as one of her role models, so she asked Corbin to introduce them and have her help them solve this mystery. And there's a whole, like, backstory, like, it makes sense. It sounds kind of really convoluted when I say it, but they're trying to figure out a disappearance in her family. There's also a home renovation part of it, which Corbin was renovating his house, and I identified with that because we've been renovating our house for forever since we bought it. I think
Completely side note here, that renovation paid off because we actually doubled what we paid for when we sold our house. So it was a pain, but it was worth it.
one of the things that really why I liked this one the most was Corbin's character. He was a new Christian, so I really, really identified with how he was trying to learn the Christian faith and how kind of reconcile how things were versus now, and kind of learning, how to live now. And there's a part where he's kind of helping his dad with his faith and kind of feeling unqualified to do so because he is such a new Christian. So I really identify with that. I think there was a really good message there. And then the third book, Sweet on You, is about the youngest sister, Britt, and her longtime best friend, what's his name? Xander. Xander has loved her for forever, and she's kind of been completely unaware of that. And so she starts to have feelings, and there's also another mystery going on where they're working together to solve this mystery. Xander's uncle, who is basically his foster dad, like he adopted him basically, he dies unexpectedly in kind of weird circumstances. They're trying to figure out what happened to him. And so there was the reason he died, I kind of had a little hard time with it because I thought it was really unrealistic. I don't know if it was because I told you I'm not a contemporary person.
I'm not.
So I don't know if I was burnt out by the time, because I read them all in a row. I don't know if I was burnt out from contemporary romance by the time I got to this book, but I was
Probably.
feeling like almost tired of reading the story. Like I personally thought that the situation was a little bit too much of a stretch, but it could have been just I was just burnt out. So I don't know, one of the two, maybe both. But I rated it. I rated it 3 stars. I did love all the chocolate. Britt makes chocolate for a living, and it goes into her chocolatiering and all of that. And I thought that was like food. I enjoyed reading about that, but overall, it was an average read. The last.
I can tell you right now, I think I've already touched on this a little bit. I can tell you right now, I would not try these books. I would not like them. I have since learned contemporary is very, very, very rarely my thing. And at this point, I was still discovering that. I thought contemporary was where it was at. It was where most of Christian fiction was at. So I had not yet discovered too much of the historical and the fantasy sci-fi side of it. That's where I enjoy books. So yeah, I was probably burnt out and I probably really didn't like it.
This book I read for May, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Oh.
This is like coming home for me. I have grown up watching the A&E Jane Austen my whole life, I feel like. I've watched it so many times. It's very, very comforting for me.
Still is.
I can quote it. You know, I love it. So I've only read the book one other time besides this time, and I really wanted to go and see, you know, what I thought of it a second time through. And I cannot tell you enough, if you have trouble reading Jane Austen, because the way they talk back then, I feel like it's really hard. So I personally, I like to read it with the audiobook, so I can hear it and I can see it, the words at the same time, so that really helps me. And then the A&E version, it's basically the same thing. There's only a few minor differences, but they really helped me to visually see it before I read it. I think Mr. Bennet is one of my favorite characters because he's so funny and
of all time.
I love Elizabeth's character. I wanted to be Elizabeth when I was little. She's so independent and, I don't know, just such a strong spirit and sure of herself. I love this book. It's probably, as much as it stayed with me in the story and all that, probably 4.5. I love this story though. It's a good book. It's a good story. Watch the TV show. So that's all the books I read in May. Let me know if you've read any of them and what you thought. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Bye.
Okay, so let's stop that. All right, so that wasn't too painful, I guess. I just was cracking myself up at some points. In the roundabout way, I just kept going on and on. I guess sometimes I may still do, but I think I've gotten a little bit better about that, about conveying my thoughts, maybe. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. I second what I said about Pride and Prejudice. That's very true, still very accurate to my reading today. So that is my reaction video to my very first ever video. I don't know what was up with the lighting. That was weird. I don't know. And then I had a long way to go as far as the technology and learning how to put book covers and things up on the screen and not editing out every single and I can tell this is like a blast from the past for me because my reading tastes have changed quite a lot since then. Back then I was kind of scared to read anything outside of Christian fiction, whereas now I'm branching out more and more comfortable with reading certain things. Some things like smut I will not touch, but I think I am a little bit more solid in my faith that I feel a little bit more confident to read more things and it not have to affect me and my walk as much. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope it was somewhat entertaining. Let me know what you think, and if you want me to do another reaction video specifically to my most ever watched video, which was the second video I ever posted like I mentioned before, let me know. All the things. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, y'all.